Ned Leeds may have just taken his first step toward becoming the Hobgoblin. That secret handshake looks like a sweet reunion. But what if it is actually the moment a buried identity wakes up? Here is the problem. Marvel's own comics make that theory much stranger. Ned was never simply destined to become the Hobgoblin. He was a man whose identity was stolen. And that may explain what Brand New Day is really doing. This movie does not just reference Spider-Man history, it rewrites who that history is allowed to control. Look at Peter first. The opening races through recreated comic book images, the classic civilian rescue, Boomerang, Tarantula, Scorpion, and Ramrod. Then, Peter develops organic webs and immediately remembers Peter 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. On the surface, that is fan service. Underneath, it is body horror. Tom Holland originally pitched the mutation as spider puberty. Peter loses control and his body begins changing. That matters because Holland's Peter used to build his own web shooters. They represented his intelligence and his ability to choose how Spider-Man worked. Organic webbing removes that choice. His superhero history is no longer something he wears or imitates, it is coming out of his body. The lonelier Peter becomes, the more complete Spider-Man becomes. That is the cruel trade. Peter is gaining the powers of an older Spider-Man, while losing the ordinary relationships that made him Peter Parker. Then the ending flips the idea. Peter gives Ned his real name and begins their private handshake. Ned's hand finishes the pattern before his face understands it. Some viewers think the movement cracks Doctor Strange's spell, restores their friendship. Harsher, Ned remembers nothing. He links handshake to MJ's slip that Spider-Man is Peter and realizes the flower guy is the man behind the mask. Either way, the Hobgoblin theory needs one major correction. In the comics, Roderick Kingsley was the real Hobgoblin. He captured Ned, brainwashed him, and used him as a stand-in. Ned's tragedy was not choosing to betray Peter. It was having somebody else write a villain over his identity. So if the MCU takes Ned down that road, the interesting version is not best friend turns evil. It is history trying to force Ned into a role he never chose, just as Spider-Man history is physically forcing itself into Peter. The movie leaves the handshake unresolved. It could be their friendship returning. It could be Ned discovering Spider-Man's identity without recovering Peter. And yes, it could become the first opening someone needs to manipulate him. That is why Brand New Day feels less like a museum of Easter eggs, and more like a fight over authorship. Peter is being rebuilt by Spider-Man history. Ned may finally be escaping his or walking directly into the same trap. So what did you see in that handshake? A friendship coming back or a villain being born?